Hey, Gio here. So I just wanted to add a little more clarity on what I was talking about in my Facebook video post about ultimately the dashboard of sorts, and the way it works. So it's a mind map. So you have to like play with mind map stuff first and understand that because it's all spatial. And so what I've got here is a little illustration, right? Okay. So I got my stuff. Okay, and Google has most of these tools inherent, so let's just look at it from that way. So my stuff, I got an inbox, I got contacts, I got a calendar, I got documents, okay, I got tasks. Now I have chats, and then I have some other stuff added in here, activities and phone, which includes like Google Voice, my call logs, my SMS logs, media, like my library, PDFs, Kindle books, whatever, e-publications, podcasts, music, video, photos, voice notes I record on my Android phone. Um, I've got my stream stuff like Hootsuite and TweetDeck. I've got under calendar, events and reminders. Under documents, I've got Google Docs, Dropbox. I've got projects over here, and Kanban is like a project tool, and other project tools. And then time blocks is like time that I'm actually doing stuff. And that all ties to calendar. Tasks ties to calendar, but also ties to projects. I got my profiles like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, etc. I also have bookmarks like Reddit, Digo, Delicious, Stumble Upon, and then I have like stuff like money, like my Mint stuff or my accounting software online, anything like that that I use. Um, and then writing and planning and notes and just like this is the dashboard on that link I shared, where basically he's got a structure for storing kind of tangentially and non-linearly schedules for interviews, for podcasts, uh, content, brainstorms for blog posts. Basically you have. I guess that's a big thing that's missing here, right? Is I need my templates, which what does this stuff look like that I do all the time? Okay, so now all of this is to say, like, this is my stuff, right? This is everything that I care about in my like digital world, right? And right now I've got it all over the place, right? Like contacts I've got in Gmail, but I also link in with Mingly. I tried Gist, but it didn't quite cut it for me. But that, like Mingly goes over to, my Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn profiles, and it brings in contacts and it merges them all into one place, right? Which is kind of useful, except for they don't have a way for I can add, blogs or websites tied to those people where I can see blog posts. And, there's the Hootsuite has my streams for consuming all those different feeds in one place, but like I don't have those connected directly to the person in like a activity history. This is the so activities we've got the all important history, which is my log of stuff. Probably don't need it. Probably never going to read it. But every once in a while, when I want context for something and I want all sorts of information in a particular you know uh, function, I want to see that log. And to have everything else tied to the log, like my media folders. Like, yeah, I really don't need to keep all my video and music and everything in there. Oh, but I could have metadata in it with a link to the location on my Dropbox or on my local hard drive where those things are actually stored. And so it like maybe it syncs with that and just takes the metadata of it, not the actual content itself. Because again, I don't necessarily need to use the the files in the document side. I don't need to necessarily use the documents from this, but I want it searchable, and I want to know it. I want to index. This is my index, right? This is my total personal information index. And for me, using mind maps makes total sense because if I'm going to brainstorm, it's not A to B linear. Like things pop up, and mind maps let me do the whole thing. Like, okay, I got this topic here, and there's these ideas and these ones, and then this one here has these sub trees over here. Oh, and this one relates to this one, and I could do stuff with mind maps that I can't do with anything else. And yes, you can do this stuff with like OmniGraffle, but I'm sorry, it takes friggin' long. I mean, Visio has actually decent tools for it, but when I have to use the mouse to interface, you know, sorry, that's a fail because the mouse requires me to pick up my hand, move it, put the cursor somewhere, and take an action. Where with Xmind, pretty much everything is tab, enter, space, arrow key. You know, I can sit there and drive with my fingers and get all over the map to any part of it I want and modify it. Hotkeys. I can do F4 and add a note. F4 and it hides the note. F3 add a label or a tag. F3 hides the label or tag. Okay, I can do all that stuff in a mind map that is super simple. Now here's where this gets juicy. Why I said put it to a NoSQL type backend or Evernote, because Evernote, basically this becomes a notebook, like a master notebook with sub notebooks for certain things. But in reality, I only need notebooks for high level, like category stuff, like contacts, activity stream, calendar, projects, document indexes, planning notes, stuff like that. Because everything else falls under that. So say I get a call from from Dave. So it shows up in my phone history as a call log, which then it'll show up my activity history as a call log. And I can have it auto tagged where if I get a call in my call log from Dave, right now I'm working on these projects, so automatically put, tag A, tag B, tag C on it. Everything that has to do with like a Facebook stream off of the wall or Twitter feed, I can automatically flag with that. And so like if say I'm doing my Mingly dashboard and I'm seeing all of my Facebook contacts, right? All my contacts here, if they're tagged, Facebook, Twitter, all whatever I got for that person, there's a tag on it, right? When I go into a UI like Mingly, instead of having a database that's directly APIing in and pulling all that data out, I'm going to my master stream as the API, which it's been feeding and updating with all of this stuff constantly. And the tags then make it where I can essentially have a custom UI, like, let's say, here's a screen. And I've got name, and I've got FB updates, and let's say Google contact, contact info, name, address, city, state, etc. Right? So this is all contact stuff, but I want to look at it here. This is my Mingly interface for Facebook. So I've got this document stored Mongo type stuff, and it's tagged over here as a contact Mingly Facebook. So when I create a secondary UI, that all it does is it looks at this big dump of notebook data that's Evernote or MongoDB or NoSQL, whatever the hell you want to call it, and it gets the key document, and then it pulls all the related stuff, or it filters based on those tags that I put on there. And so it filters all the stuff that's pertaining to that, and it sucks it up in here, right? So now I can UI this on a different twist, looking directly at this stuff in the context that I care about at the moment. But the thing is, all this stuff's stored in just one big notebook. It's all my stuff stored in one big notebook. I don't need to have multiple places. I don't need to have Salesforce.com over here with my contact history and activity, right? And Google Chat over here. I don't need all those separate things. All I need to do is have all my stuff in one place that's tagged and indexed and organized, and I can add to it at any point just with the mind map interaction. But then I can have all these secondary UIs that can pull the stuff in and let me look at it in different places. So that's the power of like a mind map UI towards a not just a CRM, but like my stuff backend. And if we prototype it on paper and model through it, you'll quickly see the power of having everything in one place like this. In fact, I guarantee you that both Facebook and Google at the end of their rainbow have something that looks just like this, right? So I might just say this is where they're going to, is putting all your stuff together, fancy tagging it, labeling it, whatever you want to call it, and giving you access to it in different contexts. And they're trying to mash as much stuff together as possible. If I can interface with it with a mind map in a non-linear way, where anything I store any place is available to all the other parts, I'm in heaven. So that's what I'm getting at. Thanks for listening. Talk to you soon. Have a great now and be a great you. See ya.